Hey, welcome back, everybody. We got a great show for you today. Today, we're going to be talking about fatherhood and the importance of fathers in a daughter's life. Stay tuned. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just welcome back to another episode of the Tina and Anderson Show. This is episode 30-something.
We're starting to lose count.
Yeah. So my name is Anderson, and this is my wife, Tina, and we are a married couple, and we talk about marriage, parenting, some types, legacy, finances, whatever our opinions are.
Faith.
And faith, absolutely. And we speak against the red pill and feminism because we believe that traditional marriage and biblical marriage is the best way to live your marriage. Mm-hmm. So, guys, just follow us on Instagram and on TikTok. We appreciate it. Banging out some banger TikToks and no, we're not.
Hey, speak for yourself. Mine are pretty banger.
Sure.
What's wrong with yours?
We're trying our best. We're trying.
See, you have to go there.
Our best.
Go there and see, and then there'll be bangers.
So yeah, today's episode. So like I said, we're going to be talking about just fatherhood and specifically fathers of daughters. Now, the reason why is because I am a father to 3 daughters. And I don't know what it's like to be a father to a son. I know what it's like to be a son. So I can speak on that a little bit. But most of my experience as parenting has been parenting to daughters. So we're going to talk a lot about that stuff. I have a couple of articles here. We're going to, we don't have any TikTok and no reels to really react to. But at the end, there's a couple of Reddits that we're going to talk about. But mostly we're going to talk about some articles, an article here. We're going to go through it. And I'm going to hit you guys with some shocking statistics. We're just going to discuss it. If you're listening, put your comments or your whatever you...
Likes, comments.
Yeah. Comments about it in your opinions. That's the word I was looking for. And your opinions in the comments. We appreciate. We would love to know what you guys think about these topics. So the first one, this one is from Dr. James Dobson Family Institute. And it's very interesting. I came across this and I started reading this. I was reading this to her. And I really was like, all right, we definitely got to talk about this. It was very interesting. Now, I wanted to say something really quick. I should have brought this up on the screen. But somebody did comment how I read at a 7th grade level.
Thanks for the insight.
Well, I don't know if they were trying to be mean. I assume they were, just the way they were reading it. Mm-hmm. But I did laugh. But then I was like, you know what? Let me go back. I did listen to some of my stuff, and she's not completely wrong. So I know I got to get better at this on screen because I don't want you guys listening to us and being like, what?
Scroll.
And then, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Scroll. So, yeah. So I read this through, right?
You sure about that?
So I kind of know what I'm reading. So hopefully I'm going to read this a little bit better.
Well, we'll get through it. Go ahead.
I'm in front of the camera. It's a little bit nerve-wracking right now.
I know. I think people on social media forget that we're doing this in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Like, we're just a husband and wife. We're not sitting here used to being behind a camera.
Yeah.
Like, or in front of a camera. Like, people forget that. We're doing this to a camera. It is nerve-wracking, especially when, like, it's not like you have experience like acting or like being on stage or what, a little, you have some, yeah, but I don't. I don't like speaking in front of people whatsoever. Yeah. I will never do it.
But look, I'm a tradesman. I'm in the trades. I can take harsh criticism. Okay. I didn't just get mad and ignore it and be like, this person doesn't know what he's talking about. I was like, all right, let me see what this person was talking about. And I was like, okay, they're not 100% wrong, even though they were being rude about it. Mm-hmm. They're not 100% wrong. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I appreciate it, even though they were being rude.
Anyways,
right. So this is what daughters need from dads. All right. So a father holds the keys to his daughter's feminine identity, her sense of self-worth, and her future relationships. A dad's affirmation, or the lack thereof, will play a role in every aspect of her life, even influencing her choice of a marital partner.
Of course.
Very important. Because you don't want her marrying a deadbeat.
You don't want your daughters to marry the wrong guy. It's going to bring them down an extremely long road that could be extremely damaging.
Right, exactly. So, because that's why I know our daughters forming our opinion about men by looking at their dads. Let's try to be the best that I can. And, you know, like I've said before, I never called her the B word in front of the kids. Never touched her inappropriately in front of the kids. Just because I don't want them to think that is okay. You know what I mean? So there is a place in the female soul reserved for dad or daddy figure that will always yearn for affirmation. Not every girl or woman is the same, of course, but almost every girl desires a close bond with the most significant man in her life. She will adore him, and if he loves and protects her, and if she finds safety and warmth in his arms, she will feel that way throughout life, unless he disappoints her or until one of them dies. A little dark there. Now, she will tend to see all men through the lens of that relationship, and if he rejects and ignores her, or worse, if he abuses and abandons her, the yearning within her becomes more intense, though it is often tainted with resentment and anger. So, I mean, just think about anybody in your life, any female in your life that didn't grow up with a dad, and see if they fit this description. Look, it's not going to be every girl that grew up without a dad, but most of them would be like this.
Like statistics would say that it's a very large number.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
So I will continue. Let me make another thing clear. Although some of you will not like what I'm about to write. I know where he's going with this. This might get a little kind of political, but it's the truth. Mothers cannot fill this particular empty space. They cannot. I'm sorry. Mothers are mothers. Mothers are not fathers. Single mothers do not celebrate Father's Day as much as they want to. They're not both.
They're just a really good mom.
Right. You just can't.
You can never fill the shoes of the father.
Yeah, you just can't be.
Can't.
I know a lot of single mothers, a lot of times they have to be a little bit more masculine just because they're taking care of everything. They're taking care of everything.
They have to have a thicker skin.
Right. Yeah. And I totally understand that, but they're not fathers. You can't. You don't know what it's like to be a man. So you can't show your son what it's like to be a man. You can show him what you would like to see in a man, but it's not the same. Okay, so they can and must meet similar needs for love and adoration. And in fact, they do occupy their own real estate in a daughter's heart. They do. A mother is still important. Even though they're not the dad, they're still important.
Yeah.
I mean, a mother is just as important, if not more important, especially in the younger years.
Yeah.
When they're newborn, toddler.
They need that nurturing.
They need the mother.
Loving, gentle care.
Right. Yeah. They need the mother more than they need the father at that time. So a girl without a mother's love is sad spectacle indeed. And I would not minimize the maternal role in any regard. But moms can't be dads and dads can't be moms. And this is why the current advocacy on behalf of same-sex marriage and homosexual adoption contradicts what is best for children. See, that's what I'm talking about. But it is true, because I don't want to dive too too much into this because this is not what this podcast is about. But you have two dads, there's no mom. You have two moms, there's no dad. Mm-hmm. We are built to be raised by both, by a mother and a father. That's how we're built for. I mean, we believe that we are created by God, and then this is how God created humanity to be. Mm-hmm. He created a man and a woman, and he created that the child needs both.
Yeah, well, he created each in a way that it's like the complete package.
Yeah,
with a mom and a father. Like God created women to be nurturing and caring and, soft, gentle. And then he created men to be the protector, the leader, and to be masculine.
Right.
And when you combine all of those characteristics,
right,
you've got the recipe to be able to raise, well-rounded children.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
There's a reason why God made women the way he did and why God made men the way he did. There's a reason.
Right. I wanted to, like, you want your kid, as a father, you want your kid, the moment your kid sees you, you want your kid to be like, all right, everything's cool. Especially, all right, say if there's stuff going on. Say if, like, your kid's at the playground and other kids aren't being so nice, right? And then your kid sees you, you want your kid to immediately to be like, I feel safe now. My dad's here.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad's going to take care of this.
Like
He's going to take care of it.
I don't care what these kids are saying. My dad is here. That's like the kind of effect like you want to have with your kids. All right, so let's continue a little bit more here. So some girls will go to great lengths to achieve a close relationship with their father. I am reminded of a man who told me about a driving. See, this is the 7th grade level.
7th grade level. See, I don't think that's not your reading ability, though.
No.
It's just getting the words out of the mouth.
I read way better in my head. All right. Let me start this sentence again. I am reminded of a man who told me about driving a teenage boy to the home of his 13-year-old girlfriend. When they arrived, a pretty little teeny bopper popped out of the house dressed like a prostitute.
Oh, no. With the short this and the short that. And yeah.
She was wearing fishnet stockings and a shocking see-through dress that revealed just about everything.
13? Did you say 13?
13.
Oh, my.
Including her panties and bra. Heck no in my house. Heck no.
No.
I would shut that down in 0.000000001 seconds.
See, an uninvolved father is just as bad as a father who's not even there.
Right. Well, listen to this. It says here, her father was standing in the front yard when she walked past him. He looked up and said, "Have a nice time."
What did I just say? She's looking for limits. She's looking for dad to be like, turn around, go back in your room, and find yourself some jeans and a hoodie.
All right. He said nothing. Now listen to this. After the girl was in the car, she explained tearfully that she was wearing the sexy dress because she wanted to see if her dad cared enough.
See?
Just like the kids want to see limits.
Well, it's the same thing when they're really little, because I used to be a toddler teacher, and they yearn for limits, boundaries. They're just going to keep testing them if you don't put them in place.
Right.
These toddlers grow up to be children, and they're doing the same thing, but in a different way. Yeah. Like, look how she just did that.
Yeah.
You know, like clearly a toddler's not going to do that, but a toddler does it in a different way, looking for you to set that boundary and to set those limits, or they're going to keep pushing it until they get a reaction out of you. Yeah. You know, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing, but she's 13 now, and she's still trying to get her parents to set some sort of limits with her.
Right. And it reminds me of this scene from Modern Family. I have it set up for us to watch. I'm going to set this up. So basically, Haley is dating some older dude. She's in college or about to go to college. She's dating some like older dude, and she gets in the elevator to leave. Right? Now watch.
Chicken, Claire, she's gone.
She's coming back, I am almost positive.
Almost? Mm-hmm. Why do I listen to you? Why? You were wrong about the iPod being a failure? You were wrong about tomato being a vegetable? I don't even want to talk about your favorite planet, Pluto. And unless she was lying to the good ladies of The View, it's to me, not Demi.
You were going to let me go with him?
Isn't that what you wanted, honey?
What's the matter with you? You've been acting so weird ever since I left college.
For the record, you didn't leave college, you were asked to leave.
Oh, which you guys never let me forget, especially Dad.
Honey, your father...
Oh, you don't have to tell me what he thinks, okay? I'm a huge disappointment to him. I see it on his face every day. He acts as if he doesn't even want me around.
Give me the ticket for the car.
Phil?
No, I'm going after her. This little chicken game may work for your dad, but it doesn't work for me. That's my little girl. I need her to know that no guy on earth is good enough for her, let alone some slimy middle-aged jean salesman. What's this?
Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
What's this?
See, she came back because she couldn't believe that her father and her mother would let her
Just leave with this guy.
Yeah,
I think
and
they were supposed to be like going away or something.
Yeah. So right before she got in the elevator, it was just an older guy, and they were like making out, and they were like leaving, right? But it was Claire that was saying, "Let her go, let her go."
She'll come back,
right? But Phil couldn't. Phil couldn't. Like, no, I can't. I'm not testing. I'm stopping this right now.
Yeah.
And that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
She wanted. And when he said, nobody's good enough for my little girl, and you see how she like ran. See, look, a lot of times shows, they're fiction, but they reflect real life. Mm-hmm. So that's like kind of like similar to this scene. So let me read a little bit more about this here. So regarding that, it says, why do girls and women have such intense needs for affirmation from their fathers? And why does their hurt caused by abandonment or rejection often reverberate for a lifetime? A primary reason for this inner ache is because a daughter's sense of self-worth and confidence is linked directly to her relationship with her father. What he thinks about her and how he expresses his affection is a central source of her perceived value as a human being. It also affects her femininity and teaches her how to relate to boys and men. Now excuse me. See, this is when my mind is going faster than
your mouth.
All right, 34% of these precious babies are born into homes without a father present. They are deprived of fatherly support and influence from the moment of birth, and that's that. 34%. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. All right, so Tita has a couple of Bible verses that kind of just explain what a father is to their children, or how a father should be to his children.
Okay, Colossians 3:21 says, "Fathers, do not exasperate your children, or they will become discouraged."
Yeah, so basically, like, don't become very harsh or furious with them. Exasperate, meaning that. They're too harsh. Don't be too harsh to them.
Yeah, or they're going to become discouraged.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get anything out of them.
Yeah.
They're just going to feel defeated.
Right.
And you're not going to get anything out of them. You're not going to get anything from them.
Right, because it said here, daughters they learn their self-worth and confidence. It's linked directly to the relationship with their father.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Psalms 103:13, as a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him.
Yeah, so you definitely want to have compassion because your kids are going to screw up.
Yeah. I would think that that's like a hard one for a lot of parents because it's like, okay, in this situation, do I be strict or do I have a heart for the situation? Like, which way do I go?
Well, you
know,
yeah.
so I mean, obviously it depends on the situation and like the seriousness of it all, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think a lot of parents like struggle with that because you also like don't want to lose the relationship with your children, you know, but it's also saying, you know, like, don't be like harsh with them or they're gonna just feel discouraged, so that's just gonna push them away,
right?
You know?
Like when you were saying about when you talk about like being strict, right?
Yeah,
It's like when you tell them you don't want them to do something or why they shouldn't do something, I mean, explain it to them. Explain why drugs isn't good. Explain why underage drinking isn't good, or drinking at all isn't good. You know, and if they're 21, if they want to have a drink, it's okay, but not to get drunk. You know, and why? Explain why you don't want this for them. Explain why you don't want them to hang out with certain people. You know, you just want to explain, because if you just say no and because I said so, that's when, you know,
because I said so.
Yeah, you don't want to say that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that because I said so. I mean, certain circumstances, if they already know why, and they keep
like
asking
we've
you,
already
then
been
you'll be
over
like,
this.
all right, because I said, you already know why.
A lot of times with our girls, I'll have them explain to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just question them to death, and I'll be like, so what do you think the end result is if you do that? And then they explain to me.
Right.
Instead of them just sitting through some sort of a lecture.
Yeah.
You know, that way you don't lose them in the conversation.
Right, exactly.
You know, like I question them. And I do that a lot with Lana, because when she's saying it, then it's more of an understanding for her.
Yeah.
So like I question her and she tells me.
Right.
Instead of me explaining it to her. Or like I'll explain it to her and then she needs to explain it back to me.
Right.
You know, it keeps them more engaged.
Yeah, I mean, then your kids will grow up. No, sometimes they might not even understand, but at least they'll grow up knowing why. And they're not going to be like, my dad was just strict. My dad just didn't let me do anything.
He didn't let me do anything.
Yeah. So, all right. So, continue a little bit more with this article. There's a lot more to say here. So there's this guy named H. Norman Wright, and he wrote a book called Always Daddy's Girl. And in there he says, if something was lacking in your relationship with your father when you were a child, the development of your femininity suffers most. As a little girl, you by nature express all the budding traits of the feminine gender. And if your father was emotionally or physically absent, or was harsh, rejecting, or angry towards you, you automatically and subconsciously attach this disapproval to your femininity, because they feel that the dad is rejecting their femininity. Mm-hmm. Hence why there's girls that probably want to be boys.
Well,
you know?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, like, if your male figure in your life is either absent emotionally or physically, then the female tends to feel like they have to take on the masculine role.
Right.
So then they start to harden. Right. You know, and then they're in competition with men.
Yeah, and you see they don't dress as feminine. They're not. I mean, I know there are tomboys. Like our youngest was a tomboy, but she knew she was a girl.
Big time.
And she liked girl.
Tomboy.
She liked girl things. It's just that she liked to play in the dirt.
Sports.
She liked action figures instead of playing with dolls. Yeah. You know, she'd rather wear shorts and a t-shirt than a dress. And she's changed. She's grew out of that. She's still like a tomboy at heart, but she dresses like a girl.
Yeah.
Right. But she always knew. But she always knew she was a girl.
Yeah.
Right. And she did like girl things. All right. So, and another thing it says here: when a father does not value or respond to his daughter's femininity, she is stunted in her development. When a daughter has little experience in delighting her father as a child, she is incomplete. She is left to discover her femininity for herself. Often, with tragic results in her relationships with men.
Well, yeah, because now there's confusion. It's never been modeled to her a healthy male involved, the male masculine role in her life. And now, like, there's confusion, so she has to figure it out herself, and that is not gonna go well because she's a woman who's now thinking that she needs to take on like the male role, to be able to take care of herself, so I would think that there's just like a lot of confusion there,
I want my daughter, my daughters, when they get married, they're gonna have their husband there to look to and to protect them, but I always want them to know that I'm always there, right? Even when I'm 80, I'll be there, right? With my wisdom.
So much wisdom.
But because being a father won't be over. It won't be over when they get married. You know what I mean? Your protector and provider role gets kind of handed over, but you're still the other things, right? So I want our daughters to always see that in me, right? And to know that I would still protect them.
Yeah.
If their husband's not around and I am, I'll protect them. Even when I'm 80.
You play a huge role in who they end up with as a husband anyways. First off, because you're the model to them as to what a husband and father should behave like, and what a healthy marriage looks like with a good man. But also through their dating and stuff, you are, well, us together, but more so you are the filter. So it's like with your wisdom, you can help filter out the bad guys that they are dating, that like we see through a different lens than how our daughters see whoever they're currently dating.
Our oldest daughter, first boyfriend, did not like him. And he ended up being bad news. She broke up with him. I was right. I know this. I'm a man. And I know what other males are like.
And you always know if he knows that this is not the guy.
What I want to say is that a father always has a soft spot. See, I can't even talk. I can't read. I quit podcasting, but just kidding.
How many hours did you just work? I think you get a pass.
I took speech class when I was like in first grade. I think it's wearing off.
English is his second language.
Well,
sort of.
My first, but it's terrible. Anyways, so fathers always have a soft spot for their daughter. I always said if I had a son, I would be a little harsher with him on certain things because boys learn that way. I wouldn't be a tyrant with him, right? But I would be a little harsher with him.
Your approach would be different.
Yeah. But with our daughters, a little bit soft. But I am strict. I've always said, look, this is not what you're doing, and this is why, right? And if you do this, there's going to be the consequences. Yeah. Right? And our daughters definitely respect our rules. Right? They respect the boundaries that we give.
Yeah, when was the last time that we had to ground any of our kids? Like, when was the last time that our girls were in trouble because they pushed the boundaries too much?
Right. I mean, it's happened, but it's not all the time.
It's been a really long time. Yeah. Like, has Maya ever been grounded?
No.
Like, you don't get your phone, you come home from school, you do nothing, you are in trouble. Right. Like, they're very respectful of, and it's probably because of their understanding as to why those rules are set. We don't just say stuff just to say it.
Well, because they know we follow through.
There's going to be a consequence, and they know that we're a united front.
Yeah.
Like, I would never ground one of our girls and then me come along and be like, oh no, you're not grounded. I don't know what your father's talking about. Like, it's all about being on the same page and being a united front.
Right. This is where
there's no pushing the boundaries when we're united.
Right. This is where a mother is very important. The mother's femininity is very important for a model for their daughter, right? But where mothers is important is that the mother does not undermine the father, right? Now, if the father puts on a harsh punishment and the mother thinks differently, she discusses with him later without the kids.
Yeah, you don't.
You know, like
do it
for
in
example,
front of
if
the
I
kids.
said no computer, no TV, you're not going to Six Flags in 2 weeks, you're done,
Yeah.
right? So
and
my
then I
wife,
come along and I go, we already paid for Six Flags.
my wife might come out later and be like, look, maybe we should still let her go to Six Flags. Look, it's in 2 weeks. Maybe no TV and video games for like 2 weeks until then. And we can use like, Six Flag as a test. Like, look, if you want to go to Six Flags, you're going to have to obey the rules and no TV and no video games until then.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're good, you'll still be able to go to Six Flags. So she might come up to me and say something like that to me. And then I could come up to her later and be like, look, your mother and I discussed this. We're going to let you go to Six Flags, but still no TV and no video game for 2 weeks. Right. So this is what I'm talking about. Right. And then she will see that her mother doesn't undermine her father. Now she knows, respect my father, because my mother won't even undermine him either. Right. But if the mother's always undermining him,
then it shows that the girls can undermine.
she's like,
too.
I'm not gonna take my dad
There's
seriously.
no respect there.
Because it won't happen, because mom will undermine him.
Mm-hmm.
And the father will lose the leadership role, will lose the masculine role in this family, and hence the daughter will grow up differently.
Mm-hmm.
She will grow up, she'll push more boundaries, still wanting him to set boundaries, but he can't because the mother undermines it.
Mm-hmm. We've all seen this.
Yeah.
Like we've all seen the mother will question the father right in front of the kids.
Yeah.
There's plenty that has gone on in like our decision making that like he's saying it to the girls and I'm thinking, well, that doesn't make sense. Or, oh, I really don't understand that. But I'm not going to go, well, why?
Yeah.
Like in front of my kids. I'll talk to him later and say, so when you said this, what did you mean? Or when you set this punishment, like, can you just explain to me why you made that decision? Because it doesn't make sense to me. Later, not in front of the kids.
Yeah.
And then he can explain. Because it shows like a break in the unity and like a weakening in the parenting, and the kids see that.
Yeah.
Like you cannot deny that kids know, I'm going to go to mom because mom always says yes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so this used to go on all the time in our marriage and with parenting. The girl, because I'm home, he's working, and the girls would ask like, oh, can I go, to the mall with so-and-so and then have a sleepover? And I'd be like, yeah, sure, that's fine. And like, not even run it by him. And like, this literally had to be pointed out to me that I like wasn't even involving him in the decisions. And I told him, I said, well, I'm just because I'm the one who's here.
Right.
So they ask me and I go, blah, blah, blah. So for years though, now I'll say, text your father. Like ask Papai.
And I feel like that happens in a lot of marriages.
You just like
I'm here, you're working, so I said they could go, so they could go.
I said that they could go, but like both of us needs to be part of basically every decision we're making with our kids.
Right.
So like, Maya asking, can I go to Six Flags? And this is who is going. And then when he comes home, I'm either like, okay, so Maya wanted to go to Six Flags. What do you think? Blah, 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 or I'll say, call Papai or text Papai, like they know there's no getting around. It's going to be both of us. They can't just go, oh, well, mom says yes to everything, so I'm just going to ask her. Yeah, we saw your scheme.
Yeah.
Like we figured it out.
See what you're doing, Carissa.
Yeah. So now we're like a united.
Yeah. I'm gonna go over some statistics here. That is pretty wild. This is from 43 fatherhood statistics, trends and analysis. I'm not gonna go through all of them. I highlighted some that I thought were pretty important. This is from parentpluskids.com, and some of these are pretty shocking. So 33% of children, so 24.7 million of them, live in a home without their birth father, according to U.S. Census Bureau.
That's according to the census.
33. That's a third. That's sad. In 1960, 99.1% of children were living with a single parent home. By 2012, that number risen to 20.7, more than doubled.
It was 9.1. And then what did you say?
2012. So it's probably higher now.
It's probably higher now.
Yeah.
It was way up to 20.7.
Yeah. Now let me tell you.
That's insane.
Now let me tell you this, right? Where the president is trying to push, IVF, and have it government paid. That's going to create a lot of single moms. Because a lot of moms want kids, and
when they
don't want to have a man.
When they reach a certain age, they start to panic that they're not going to have time to be able to have their own children. So they'll reach for something like IVF.
Right. Now, there are other reasons why I think it's a bad idea, but that's one of them. It's going to create a lot of single mothers. And I'm sorry, people might hate me for this or get mad at me for this, but if you are a woman and you are not married with a man and you don't have a husband and you try this IVF because you want a kid, you're selfish. You're depriving this child of a complete family unit. This child needs a father. And for you to give birth to this child, purposely get birth to this child without a father because you want to be a mother, it's selfish. All right, next one. So it says here the percentage of children without a father in the United States is 43%. 43%, people. That's almost half.
That's insane.
Now, I'm telling you, like I was just saying, with the IVF, it's probably going to go higher. It's probably going to be higher than that.
Yeah.
And then you're wondering why kids join gangs, kids get teenage pregnancy, kids getting into drugs and being criminals. They need fathers. It's insane.
Yeah.
And don't even get me started on OF models. Do you think these OF models grew up in a solid home with a mother and a father? Maybe some, but most of them, no dad. No dad. No dad in their life.
Yep.
All right, now listen to this. The percentage of rapists with rage that came from a fatherless home is 80%.
National Institute of Justice.
Oh.
That's pretty scary.
Because a father, a real man, a good father, will show his son how to respect women and to protect women and cherish women. And if there is no father in the home to show him that, he's not going to see it. He's not going to see it. Now, 70% of minors housed in a state facility are from fatherless home. 39% of inmates housed in jail are from fatherless homes.
How much was that one? 39?
39%. 39% of them, no dad. I always say
the statistics, people.
Right. There's a saying out there that says that fathers keep their daughters off stripper poles and fathers keep their sons out of jail. All right. So 71% of all high school dropouts are from fatherless homes. Kids with fathers who are involved in their lives are more likely to do better in school. Now, this is not saying that if there is no father in the home, they're not going to do better. It's just that kids who have a father in a home have a better chance. They are more likely. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we got JD Vance, and we got who's that surgeon?
Surgeon?
Famous surgeon who ran for president. There was a movie about him. I forgot, but there's this famous surgeon.
You got me stumped.
He separated the twins. Fatherless home. He did great, right? So there are great men that come from fatherless home, but there are fewer than men that come from a home with a father.
The odds are not in their favor, and you should want the odds to be in your child's favor.
See, like I said here, that saying, dads keep daughters off of stripper poles. See, girls are more likely to have children as a teenager if they grow up without a father. So, and girls, this is a weird one. I wanted to, I just wanted to say this because I thought this was weird. Never even thought a father could affect this. But girls develop stronger math skills. So if you have a girl who does girl math, she probably didn't have a dad.
Girl math.
Yeah, girls who do girl math don't have fathers. All right, 71% of teenagers who are pregnant come from fatherless homes. 85% of children with behavioral disorders are from fatherless homes. All right, there's just a few here. Just don't go over. There's some at the end here that talk about statistics about. Okay, so here we go. So it says here, when asked, 40% of dads don't believe they are being empowered in their home. So this is what
they're being emasculated in their own
right.
home.
This is exactly what we were talking about. We were talking about how the mother
takes on the role.
Yeah, where the mother does not demean him in front of the children. The mother is united with him, and if there is a disagreement, she talks with him separately away from the kids.
I think it's more than obvious that if you respect your husband and your children watch that day in and day out, they're also going to respect their father. Period.
Yeah.
If that doesn't make sense to you, I don't know how else to explain it. If you are disrespecting your husband on the daily and undermining him, or like not involving him like I was talking about, and emasculating him in front of the kids, what do you think the kids are going to do?
Right.
They're going to follow suit. They're going to do the same thing, maybe in a different way, but they're watching you disrespect your husband, their father, on the daily.
Right.
We all know children are sponges.
Yeah.
They're just going to replicate what they see.
Yeah.
Period.
So it's like, ladies, if there's any mothers listening, please let your husband be fathers. Let them. You wouldn't want them interrupting you when you're being a mom. Just let them be fathers. Their parenting style is going to be a little bit different from you. They're going to be a little bit harsher. They're going to be a little bit tougher. But you have to realize the kids need this.
Yeah. Discussions can go on, in another room, not in front of the kids, because you're two different people and two different sexes. Yeah. Raising the kids is going to look different for each one. So to make sense of it, have a discussion in another room, not in front of the kids.
Right.
Do not undermine each other. When we're talking, he doesn't undermine me either in front of the kids, and I don't undermine him.
Right.
The kids need to see a mutual respect, and what a healthy relationship looks like. It's
right.
Yeah.
And if you're doing stuff behind his back where if the father says, no, you can't go here. And if the father goes somewhere, I'm like, go. But just be back before he gets.
Yeah.
So that's terrible. You're not helping your child.
No.
You're not.
No, you're definitely hurting them.
Yes.
You're definitely hurting them.
You are.
And you're hurting the relationship between the father and the child, period.
Yeah. And if you feel like your husband is a little too harsh, just talk to him.
Talk to him. Communication. It all boils down to communication.
Right.
Most things that we talk about on this podcast is how do you fix that? Communicate.
Yeah.
Most topics that we talk about, it all boils down to communication. If you're not talking to each other, how can you be united in parenting these children?
Right.
Talk to each other. Don't just expect the other one to know. Well, they should know. Well, they don't. So talk to them.
And now there is a line between being too harsh and strict.
Yeah.
Right? So when I'm being strict is being firm and you follow through and you don't back down. Sometimes you have to yell at them. Being too harsh is maybe insulting them, making them feel stupid for what they did. But if you're doing that, you're not helping them either.
Yeah,
so you want to be strict. You want to say, look, you don't do this because this is why. This is why I don't want you to do this. And because if you do this, this is what will happen. So I don't want you to do this. And if you do this, this is going to be the consequences. Right? But then when they do good, you congratulate them. You tell them that you're proud. You tell them that you're proud of them. Mary, my daughter, had her first soccer game today. They didn't win, but I told her I was happy that you did good and that you worked really hard.
Very good.
You always encourage your kids, because you encourage your kids as a father. If you encourage your kids, they will respect you more when it comes to rules, boundaries, because they know you're coming from a good place.
Well, they have to see you as a human being too. Like they see you as such like an authority figure that like they need to see your human side.
Right.
Compassionate, loving, that you love your girls, and you're there for them.
Right. Exactly. So I know we've been talking mostly about fathers and daughters, but there's a couple of Reddit responses where this Redditor said, it says here, they said, sorry, I thought I had
pull it up.
I thought I had this ready, but it wasn't. So basically what it says, how does an absent father affect a child? Right?
Emotionally absent or physically absent?
Probably both. Right. Now this is these are a couple of responses. The first one says, my son has zero self-esteem and can't take any criticism. He was raised by me alone. My daughter, on the other hand, craves attention from her stepdad. She wants to be a daddy's little girl, even at 12. So you see it from both, from the son and the daughter. Where the son, he can't take criticism. No self-esteem at all. So He's
really hard on himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with a father builds up his son. A father tells him, I remember talking to younger apprentices and be like, listen, you're an apprentice. You're going to have to eat some humble pie, right? This is what you have to go through until you get your license. You're not going to have the best jobs. You're not going to be treated the greatest, because this is how it is in the trade, right? But it's going to mold you. And when you get your license and become a journeyman, you'll be stronger for it, because this is how it is. It's dominated by men, and men working together all day. It can get heated, right? And if you can't take it, it'll be worse for you, right? So I explain this to them. So you got to raise your sons. You got to teach them that, hey, this world's not going to be easy on you. You got to take it, but I got your back. Yeah. Right. But I'm not going to have your back if you're just going to sit there and cry all the time.
Right.
Now, and then the daughter, she wants to be a daddy's girl. She wants to. She's craving it.
I mean, at least she has the stepdad in her life because she would be looking elsewhere.
Right.
She'll be looking elsewhere for that fatherly attention, or it would morph into something else,
or just male attention.
No, so it's good that at least there's a stepdad in the picture who loves the kids, and that she is working hard to like create like a good father-daughter, and I would assume that he is too. That.
She didn't explain much in her response, like how the father is, how the stepdad is.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's a good dude.
Yeah. Hopefully he receives it and then also shows her love too.
Now, this person said, this is how one of my best friends and his brothers are. Their dad passed away when we were 8, so 22 years ago. And since then, they just don't know how to really act like men. They get all their pissy and emotional over the smallest stuff, just like their mom does. And then on the flip side, they try to be all macho and manly in front of women. And it is terribly painful to watch. Yeah,
that's that whole masculinity is having power and strength,
right?
But knowing how to control it,
right? I think, but they probably don't know. I think they probably.
Well, it hasn't been modeled to them, is what I'm saying. They didn't get to, have their father as they were growing, because they lost the father at 8 years old. That is like some real key age there, like almost 10. Right. And then not too far away from being a teenager, and it snowballs from there. Right.
Yeah. Into what was I gonna say?
I don't know, honey. Drink your coffee.
I just pulled a Biden. The kids, the sons, they need their father, because if their father was there, they would know. All right, they would know how to behave around women, because being all macho and trying to act like you're the toughest guy, women don't respond to that. What women respond to is this guy kind? Is this guy stoic? Does this guy, how do other men treat this guy? Does this guy seem like he's well respected amongst the guys?
What's his reputation?
Right. And I think like trying to be macho, they probably curse a lot. They're probably crashing beer cans on their heads and thinking, this is what women like.
Like, no.
Women think that's stupid.
No. Well, it's immature. It shows like immaturity.
Right. And then they can't regulate their emotions.
Yeah, like somebody, like a man with like a bad temper.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, red flag.
Yeah.
And that's a really good example of, when people say like, oh, toxic masculinity. No, that's him not being masculine.
Right.
If you cannot control your anger, your emotions, you don't have toxic masculinity. You literally don't have masculinity. Period.
Yeah. Yeah, men should be capable of being monsters, just like Jordan Peterson said. Be a monster, but learn to control it. Self-control is, I would say, one of the best parts of being a man. Just having self-control, because you got to have that self-control. You got to be able to control the situation, your emotions,
yourself.
That way you'll be able to think more logically, make better decisions. And that's, I think, a lot of times what women look, because women want a man that can lead. And like, if I'm with you see all these TikToks where their women are like, this is what's going on in my head when we're out in public, and because I don't think about anything, because I'm with my husband and he's
making my way downtown.
Yeah, he's making sure all the exits are clear, they're all safe.
He's like, that guy looks sketchy.
And the women, you don't see women posting anything like that. The women are, because women love that.
But when are women like that? When we walk into a store and we're with our children and we don't have our husband with us, we have to also take on the masculine role. If we're in public, we're like, okay, the exits are over there. That guy looks sketchy. Is he following me? Like, you have to be like on the lookout.
Right.
But
I'm saying what women love. It's like, these are women saying they love being in their feminine when their men are around.
Yeah. Like that you can just let go of like so many things.
So if you're cursing all the time and being pissy and cracking beer cans on your head, the woman's going to be on high alert. She's going to be on high alert. She's like, this guy seems unhinged.
And you're supposed to be her protector, but meanwhile, she's thinking, do I need protection from him?
Yeah.
Like, things get skewed at that point.
So, yeah. So, I hope you guys got a lot out of this. I think these are just great information, great statistics. I know it's a kind of little different because we're talking about parenting. We really haven't talked much about that. And let us know in the comments if you want us to talk more and more about this stuff. But we will in the future also talk more about this. I have this book that I read that I think I'll go over it when it comes up about fathers and daughters. But yeah, if you like this type of content, let us know. Comment, let us know what you think about this episode. If you have any opinions about anything we said, and share it. And look, we've been gaining followers. It's been like little by little, little by little.
I mean, that's what they say is the healthy way.
But we appreciate it. Like when we gain like 2 followers in like 2 weeks, I'm like, hey, we gained 2 more followers. Look, I appreciate that. I want to be happy about that. I'm not going to be thinking about how slow we're growing. Look, we're small. We're a blip in the YouTube universe, but we appreciate the people who do follow us, who do watch this content. And we are trying, hope you realize today, we're trying to do things a little bit different, trying to be better, trying to be more entertaining, trying to keep you guys locked in and listen to us. And hey, we're not afraid of opinions of what you guys think, right? Look, that pit lady was harsh. And I took her criticism and I try to be better. So we appreciate it. Thank you guys. And follow us on Instagram and on TikTok. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, the notification bells, and the like button as well. We would appreciate that. All right. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.